Welcome to lesson 20. This is lines and angles, and as you can see on the board, I have a list of words written there that we're going to go through in this lesson. This lesson does require a lot of memorization of definitions, and there are things that you need to know about, and each one has little specific technicalities involved that if you don't know, it can cause you to miss a problem. So pay close attention, even with the very first one, because this word, line, many of you think that's a line. That is not a line in math, okay? In math, a line has arrows at the end, okay? Because that's saying that this line can keep going. It doesn't end, okay? And you need to put arrows on the end whenever you're asked to draw a line. If you're asked to draw the second word, segment, segments are lines that don't have arrows at the end. That is a segment. It's like a piece of a straight line. It's a toothpick, or it's a line like this, okay? It ends on both sides. It does not go on forever. So if they ask you for a line, put the arrows on the end. If they ask you for a segment, make sure you just don't put arrows on the end. Some students, and it's okay to do this, even put dots, okay? That's welcome as well. Just don't put arrows. The third word is horizontal. And now I have a horizontal line drawn right here. Horizontal lines go straight from side to side. They're not tilted, they're not up and down. They go side to side. All right? And a way you can remember that is when you're looking out at the ocean, the sun will set on the west coast on the horizon. Okay? It's that line you see that the sun goes behind and it looks like it's falling behind the earth. Okay? That's a horizon line. So horizontal goes that way, side to side, left to right. Okay? That's horizon, or horizontal in math. Now the next word is vertical. Now vertical is going to be the exact opposite of horizontal. So instead of going left to right, it's going to go up and down. So this is a vertical line segment. I didn't put arrows. It's a vertical line segment. It's going up and down. And you can remember that because when you go skateboarding or snowboarding or any kind of boarding that requires a ramp, a vert ramp will go straight up at the end. So some of you will ride a quarter pipe or a half pipe on your skateboard, and you go up, and when you hit that part where it's going straight up, sometimes it's 2 or 3 feet of vert, that is straight up ramp. Okay, so it's vertical. That's when you go straight up. All right. The next word is intersecting. Intersecting requires 2 different lines or more. Okay? When 2 lines cross, you have formed an intersection, like when 2 streets cross. And there's some special kinds of intersecting lines that you should know about. Okay? When you have one vertical and one horizontal, they go exactly opposite of each other, like an intersection, that is called perpendicular. Perpendicular. Okay? That's perpendicular, and those lines form an angle in the middle that can make a box, a 90-degree angle. We'll talk about the degrees in a little bit. But if you could make a box in the corner when 2 lines intersect, you have made perpendicular lines. Now, if you have 2 lines that don't intersect, and they are running right next to each other and they can never touch, because one is going this way and one is going this way, and they always stay that far apart from each other, you've made parallel lines. Now parallel lines are pretty easy to remember because the word parallel has 2 L's in it that go right next to each other and they never touch. That's parallel. So parallel has the answer right within the word. Okay, 2 lines that never touch. And you can see on the roads, a lot of times when there's 2 lines right across the middle that never touch, they just go, even when they curve, they never touch, and it's illegal to pass over those. Those are the parallel lines. And if a police officer catches you going over the parallel lines, you can get a ticket. So that you see also in streets, just like you see intersections. Okay? The next word is oblique. And you might have never heard the word oblique before. We said that horizontals like this, and verticals like this, and sometimes they cross, making perpendicular lines. But if you have something in between, you might have thought before it's called diagonal or tilted. In geometry, it's called oblique. So if you have a line that's tilted, that's an oblique line. Or if you have intersecting lines that aren't perpendicular, they maybe go like this. Intersecting lines. Those are oblique, because they don't make a square in the middle. Maybe kind of like a house or a triangle. It's not a square corner like these. Okay? That would be an oblique intersecting lines. All right? And last, I have the word angle. Okay? Now, an angle is measured in degrees from 0 degrees to 360 degrees. Now, the most basic one is a straight angle. Okay? If you were to stand on a skateboard, put your tail here, and you do a half circle, right? You do a 180, and I'll bring a skateboard in and we'll demonstrate that in class later. But this is 180, right? You spin the nose around halfway. You just went 180 degrees, okay? That's a straight angle. Okay? Half of a straight angle, right? If you were to cut this right down the middle, you just cut 180 degrees in half. What's 180 divided by 2? 90 degrees. So you just made a 90-degree angle. Okay? Now, 90-degree angle, it's kind of like if you put your hand straight out and one hand straight up. Okay? You form 90 degrees, and that is called a right angle. Okay? As the name. The other one was straight angle. This is actually a right angle. Now, from the right angle, you could judge 2 other types of angles. All right? If your angle gets smaller, anything from 1 all the way up to 89, just almost 90 degrees, that has become acute. Acute. And a lot of people say, oh, because little things like little kittens and puppies are cute. So if the angle gets smaller, okay, it becomes acute. So it might look like this, okay? It's tilted just a little bit, it's closed a little bit, or it might be really closed, okay? Very much closed. See this angle? It's a very small angle, maybe it's 10 degrees, okay? So from anything from 1 to 89 would be acute. And as you can guess, if you've done the ones that are smaller, what happens if I go larger, okay? Anything from 91 all the way over to 179 is called obtuse. Obtuse angles. So those angles might look almost like a straight line, but then have a little bit more of an angle going up, okay? Maybe that one is about 160 degrees, okay? Or maybe it was close to being a right angle, but just goes over a little bit. Maybe it's 91 degrees. That's obtuse, all right? So lots of words to memorize, lots of different lines and little tricks to remember. Just do the best you can, and you'll be practicing those all year. If you need help, then come and see me. Thanks.